Yes, people. What's going on? Welcome back to Saeed TV. We are Straightjacket Podcast 217, sponsored by Boohoo Man. Big up to Boohoo Man for sponsoring today's video. Go and get yourselves 40% off, people, using the QR code that's on top of Nuruddin's head. Use that QR code. Get yourself 40% off. All you got to do, use your phone, and it'll take you straight direct to the website. Or you could go down in the description below and use the link there and then go to the code Saeed. Use the code Saeed to go and get 40% off. Nordin, man, it's a lovely day today. Costell del Manchester outside. What's going on? Are you enjoying the weather?
Costell, mate. I was cycling and I was like, where can I get some paella from? Paella. Give me some of that paella.
Yep.
Yeah, man, it's a beautiful day. Loved it. I just want more, man. I want more. I hope it's not a false dawn. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It was one of them.
The day after you beat Stuff the Scum.
Yeah.
The day after we stuffed the scum. The
Leeds.
scums are falling apart again. The scums are falling apart again. Yes, it was personal, man. It's always personal with me, with Leeds, mate. Always personal. If personal, you know, you know.
Mate. Absolutely, man. I don't know, man. The War of the Roses, you know what I mean? Lancashire versus Yorkshire. Big derby, you know what I mean? And it's good to get one of, you know what I mean? Again, we always seem to do well, man, at that ground. It used to be a tough away day back in the day, but now
for 60 minutes I ate all my nails, mate. For 60 minutes I was holding on, man. I was throwing stuff all over the place, man, for 60 minutes.
Yeah. But we find a way, man. Like this season, we've always found a way, you know what I mean? When, you know, I always say there's a lot of points this season. What I'm proud about this Man United team is that a lot of points this season that we probably not have won last season, we've got this season. And that's the beauty of Ten Hag and the kind of mentality that he's kind of built in this team. Never say die attitude. You fight to the end. You don't keep, you know, you don't put your head down. It's one of them. You got to keep going. And that's the situation right now. Man United right now, they find the resilience and they find a way. Last season, we didn't have that. So I think it's a good, and it's working wonders. When you look at the squad, Nuruddin, and how many players are out, you kind of find it crazy that this manager just keeps on going. He doesn't make excuses, Nuruddin. He doesn't say, oh, well, you know, things are tough right now. He keeps on going. He finds a way. And it's mad. You're on mute.
Yeah, for the first time ever, actually, on Friday, well, Thursday. So we play Leeds on Wednesday. He did a press conference the next day, exactly on Thursday morning, but it was put out on Friday. Yeah. And for the first time ever, actually, he admitted that the players they're feeling the burn. Do you know what I mean? They're feeling the overload. The legs are getting heavy because of the. We've got two players who are out for the season. Scott McTominay, muscular, another couple of more weeks. Casemiro obviously suspended for the Leicester game, especially in terms of in the league. We've got a cup final. We've got to play Barcelona twice, and yeah, it's a mad one. So for the first time ever, he's took stock about the amount of games we've got to play. But before that, he was batting it away. But I think he realized, like on Wednesday night, he was like, you know what? A lot of the things why we're kind of getting caught cold and stuff like that, we've got players who've been injured coming back from injury. We've got players, we've got illnesses in the camp. We've got all sorts of things to deal with. And he's doing an amazing job managing it, like, you know what I mean? But managing all those things. But for the first time, that dawned on him. I'm not going to lie. And that was, and you know me, I've been banging on about this for how many months? Like, I said it in the summer, Man United need another midfielder or two. Man United needed a striker, whether Ronaldo stayed. All of the things that I've been saying comes to the truth. I don't want to be right. And I'm not going to lie to you. I put the tweet out and I said, this could derail our season. And on Friday night, when I did my match preview, I did say this could derail. This could derail our season because the amount of players that we've got injured. So look, you put them up there. Look, exactly.
Lisandro's suspended for the game. Yeah. Scott McTominay's got this bizarre injury that I don't know where he's. Normally, he's quite fit as a fiddle. I don't understand the injuries that he's got right now. Do you understand it?
Yeah, it's muscular. To be fair, he was always prone to having a couple of months out, with a month and a half out for the injury. But at the time on the Ollie, where him and where McFred, they never got injured. Neither of them got injured.
So all of a sudden, you want him to be fit. He's never fit. And when you wanted him, I'm not saying I wanted him injured, but I'm just saying, when you wanted a different face, he was always available. That's the problem. Sabitza's got this suspension that come out of nowhere. I didn't even know this one.
No, he was suspension in it because from when he played in Europe. Yeah. That's what happens.
Obviously, Van der Beek's out injured for the whole season. Christian Eriksen's probably going to be out for the rest of the season.
Eriksen's out for the season.
Yep. Anthony's got this injury, which I think is a bit of a worry. I don't know what these injuries are right now. You know what I mean? I don't know what they are. This Anthony injury. This Anthony injury is a bit of a weird one. Like, it's a muscular injury, but he's had a few of them now this season. And you called him out. I know you did. I told you he's injured. Go on.
Apparently, it's not. He's got a whack. It's not a muscular injury. It's not a muscular. Scott McTominay
kind of impact injury. Injury.
I mean, Ten Hag said he did get a kick. Ten Hag said, that game, he said he got a kick last time. So it is what it is. It is what it is. But listen, we escaped yesterday. But you know what? In these big games, in these massive rivalries, especially with me, those people try to kill me, mate, when I was a kid. So for me, I don't care how Man United play. As long as we get the W, we get out of there with that W, mate. Get out of there with that W. I'm happy. And that's why, because all of them got silenced. And shout out David De Gea as well for 400 games. Man United, shout out for the celebrations. They were all spitting kittens.
Maguire as well. Little wink and that to the Leeds fans. You know what I mean? They love to do on him. But David De Gea, 400 appearances for United again. Big achievement for him. You know what I mean? So, Anthony didn't have a preseason. I'm not surprised. Well, the thing is with him, he normally fit as a fiddle, but we need all these players back. Obviously, we don't know what's going on. Martial is another one that I think for me, you don't know what's going on with his situation, but you would have loved to see Martial back right now where we need him the most. Like, just to have a fit period with Martial to the end of the season would be a dream. Would be a dream for Ten Hag. I genuinely think if you had one wish, one wish for all them injuries to happen, it would be Martial to be the person that he can bring back because of what he can give him. But you can't get that though, Nuri. That's a problem. And now, man like Venkos is our new number 10, man. Forget striker, mate. New number 10, mate. Have you seen his little 10 cameo, mate? Are you mad?
Spinning. Listen, he got involved in the game. That tactical change, so we've got to give it up for Ten Hag. And people are like, so why didn't he do that from the beginning? Well, because the beginning, he didn't have the bloody options. And he was thinking, should I bring him up? So he's got to manage the squad and think, well, I've got to take this guy off. I've got to wrap this person in. You know what I mean? Like, I've got to do this, I've got to do that. So for me, at the end of the day, it was, I don't care how long you do, what time you do it, your in-game management, clutch, mate, the clutch. And it came, the two substitutions that he put on Martinez made a difference because to me, to you was getting a bit ridiculous where the new, to me, to you was Diego Dalot and Maguire, where they were just absolute, Martinez comes straight away.
Show what it's about.
Like drills balls through the lines. And then when Martinez is on the pitch, he gives confidence to other people. You see how Sabitzer just all of a sudden change. And you see how Sabitzer constructs that goal. He drops back next to Maguire, makes it a 3, gets the ball, and then fires the ball in to Workhorse. Workhorse then takes a touch, puts it to Fred. Fred then to Bruno. Bruno then to Sabitzer. Sabitzer and then switches the play. That's what he's good at. He can, it's almost doing a snooker, innit? Like, 3 moves, like knowing what to do, 3 moves ahead, and that's what he did. And then Shaw did what he did in it, getting that ball across. And Rashford is just, I don't think he's played well for a long time, but at the moment, it's not about playing well, mate. It's about the clutch moments man. He's become Man United's clutch moment player, man. And but the thing is. But the thing is, though, we need to see both sides of Rashford, though. We need to see him when he's not having a great game to still pull something off. Because at the end of the day, you can have Rashford, not doing something. But if you're there at that moment and you're there and you're ready, and the headering ability now for him is crazy. When you look at the start of the season, shout out to Benny McCarthy. Everybody was looking at that and thinking to myself, you know what? Is that a good deal there? Have we got a good deal for Benny McCarthy? But look at that, man. Look at this. Look at the kind of almost headering ability now. The way he's kind of moving, the way he leaps. Everything is done in training. Everything looks like Benny McCarthy's worked on his positioning ability now. The fact that now he can leap that way and he's got that bravery now. This is what you wanted from Rashford, and now he's delivering. It's crazy the amount of goals. How many goals do you reckon he'll finish by the end of the season?
I'm looking at least if he's carried on the way he is, he's on 20 goals, 20 goals and assists. Is it goal involvements for the season so far, or has he got 20 goals, 21 goals?
I think for the season he's got like 34 goal involvements. It's weird.
Wow,
34
that's
games. I'm
crazy.
not. Maybe it's 34 games. He's got 34 games. It's 34 games and 20 odd goals. But for me, the biggest thing for me is that I remembering Rashford. Like we all know, those of you know, where Rashford, the ball used to get anywhere near Rashford. Rashford used to close his eyes like that. I remember the goal he scored against Leicester, where the ball came to and he missed actually because he had his eyes closed. And now my guy's leaping like a salmon. Bang! Get it? I mean, he scored four-headed goals this season, and all of his career before this season, he scored 5.
Wow, 29, 28, 29 GA this season, 21 goals in all competitions. Listen, man, he's doing now, and he's Ten Hag's main man. You know what I mean? 29 in 34 games. That's not bad, you know. Not bad little stats there, you know what I mean? But for me, you can look at the stats, but you can see overall confidence in Rashford right now in a minute. He's oozing confidence. And now he's got that feeling now that, you know what, I must perform now. You know how before, well, it's only Ragnick, it's only Ollie. Ollie won't mind now. You know, Mourinho, he was quite young. Now, he's at that level now where he has to now be the main man. He has to lead the line. He's more of a main man than Martial, more of a main man definitely than Sancho. He's the main guy. He has to set the standards now for Ante, who's a newcomer, for Garnacho, who's a young kid. You know,
Saeed, he must have a button there because it's vindication time, innit? What did I ever say about when people moaning about Martial or Rashford and any of the young guys? I said first time they get proper coaches, we will see. I said there'll be nowhere to hide. I kept repeating that, and people were like, "Trashford this, Trashford that, get rid of him." I'm like, I understand the frustrations. We're all emotional.
Could you understand it?
No, of course. From last season, I mean, last season even he comes out and says it, so nobody else needs to say it. He's like, my mind wasn't there. My mind wasn't there. And actually, when he wanted to say what was going on at the club, Sky Sports journalist stopped him from saying what, elaborated on it. So I still really want to know what he's alluding to, because he was like, last season is so many things were going on. But the point is that what I'm saying to you, for me, when you get good world first class coaching, right, and you don't just get the coaching side, but you get coaches who put demands on you, because that's the key word, demands. You can get all the coaching all day, but if the demands are not on you, and you don't feel like, yo, it's your time to step up. It's your time to step up. So it has to step up. So for me, like, I don't even now, like, it's one of those, like, I used to think that was the same thing with Dwight York and Andy Cole back in the day. When you hear Man United score a goal, you can be anywhere. You could be on a plane, you could be on in a ship somewhere in the Atlantic. You just don't go for Man United. You know who's Rashford, innit? You know that mind.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, it's got to be him that scored the goal. So at the end of the day, I'm not even, for me, I'm just noticing that he's scoring goals, and great goal scorers or people who are on this level of form, every time they got on the pitch, they're going to believe that they're going to do it. Every time they're on the pitch, they're going to do it. And that's what it is. And I just think, okay, you know what? The clutch moments, you're there. You're there. You're there again. And in the games, even now, before, I used to see him panic, and I used to see him, the anxiety and the stress on his face. If he missed a chance. Nah, he's not asked. He's not asked. He's just thinking, I'm going to get another one.
Yep, exactly. And this is what I'm saying. It's like, it's just relentless with Rashford now. And like I said, the manager's come out and said, you know, he goes, I was convinced the first moment, I was really excited to work with him. I thought I could get the best out of him. He has such high potential. And this is why I think for me, you know, my kind of frustration is that I just thought we kind of see the best of Rashford. You know, I just think there was no kind of like next level. We've seen the best of Rashford. But I was probably naive to think that a coach could come in and maybe revitalize him. And that could be Ten Hag. And obviously now Ten Hag has come in and he's just set the world alike, you know? So I think for me, he deserves credit. And like I said, the whole team, even Fred again, like second half was unbelievable. But in the first half, it was very shaky. So it's Fred. Fred will tear you apart.
Watching Fred is like this. Sometimes it's like that. Sometimes it's like that. I'm like, and then I go back to being like that. That's what it is.
There's no middle ground, is there? There's no middle ground, is there, with Fred?
I saw Stoke Fred parts of the first half. And then second half, I saw Stoke from Brazil.
Yep.
Yes, Musa.
Yes,
brother.
Musa, what are you telling me?
Salam, bro.
What's going on? You guys, I just got back in.
Man, we're good. We're just talking about Rashford's form and the way
fair
he's.
to Musa, you know what? I've got a big up Musa as well. Again, he's vindicated as well. He did say, me and him remember all the times when we were talking about Rashford saying, listen, if he gets a good coach and people know what they're doing and make demands on him, he's going to come good. So big up Musa as well. He saw it. When you see things, you see it. I don't think players go from being decent to horrendous overnight. They don't go. You know what I mean? Yeah. They don't go. There are certain players, and I do understand people like Saeed and everybody else who are like, listen, this guy's not even interested. This guy's not even interested. This guy does not want to be there. So why are we keeping him? But I remember we were talking, in the summer times when we were talking, and we were saying, listen, it's about good coaching. It's about demands. It's about creating an environment where players can thrive.
100% agree, man. And I think with Rashford, for me, it's always been a case of just giving him the opportunity with the right manager, man, the right coach, and allowing him to do it. Obviously, he's not as like, I think we always had that issue with Martial where he's not as like finished, like he's not as clean. But they're just different types of players, man. I just don't feel like everyone's gonna have that clean cut finish type of, like taking the ball in but he's confident and he scores goals. And to be honest, even under Ollie, he scored goals, but then come to the end of Ollie's tenure, he just kind of lost it. But for me, man, I'm just gassed to see Rashford doing what he's doing. And I just feel like having him in our squad and having him, in this form, I feel like we just got to push him and get behind him as a fan base, because if he steps out of that pitch feeling like he's the Mbappe of United, let him feel that, rather than us being like, nah, he's not as good, he can never be as good. At the end of the day, like, goals pay the bills, man. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
They pay the bills, and he's doing what he's doing.
Absolutely, man. Now, I just think for me, it's a good thing now that we're kind of we're having this form. The amount of games that we're having, Nuruddin, it's a massive few weeks now, Nuruddin. It's crazy, but we've got to obviously Thursday Barcelona, then we've got Leicester on Sunday, then we've got the second leg of Barcelona, then we've got the Carabao Cup final, and then we've got, I think it's Wednesday night, the FA Cup in between that. And then it's another game after that. So
Liverpool in March, the first week in March, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, first week in March as well. So it's a massive week, man. How are you kind of looking at everything right now? Because a lot of people say the Europa League, is it a distraction? Should we be focusing on that? And you've always kind of been kind of in and out of the Europa League. Where are you now? Because obviously we're in the Europa League now. Should a Ten Hag, because he prioritized, Lisandro not playing on against Leeds to kind of make sure Shaw and Malacia get some game time. Where are you on it with the whole situation?
So I put the tweet out in it straight away when I saw the lineup. I'm like, clearly he's prioritizing. The only other little bit of a window that I'm giving him is that he maybe saw fatigue, because these guys played at the World Cup side, and you know what? In terms of emotional fatigue from a World Cup and everything, it's not that you've got it now, because a lot of times you're playing, especially Martinez when he's won, you're playing on adrenaline. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? Yeah. But there comes a certain game or certain time when you just feel it and you're like, whoa, what's going on? You know what I mean? Mentally a bit fatigued, because the game, I won't mind if the games weren't coming thick and fast, but he's not even getting any time on the training ground. It's literally game ends, they're coming for the recovery, then they're eating the diet, everything like that, and then they go through the video room and look at the tactics in the next game. Then they got to travel and then go and play that game. It's not, but for me, it says that to me. And I think because he's got European ambitions in it, Ten Hag, and he wants to play, and it's the biggest game in world. It's one of the biggest games in world football. You know what I mean? Barcelona, Man United. But it just happened to be shit Europa League. And then I look at their form and I look at us, and I just think, for me, out of all the competition, the Europa League's my least favorite side. I have absolutely, I don't mince my words. I'm not in and out like you said. I've always been like, I'm allergic to the Europa League. I'm allergic. When I go in that, because I'm the kid, I'm the young guy, right? A lot of you, right? I used to be young ones, yeah? I'm talking about a teenager who used to get the champions. You know what I mean? And get the goosebumps on that Wednesday nights, mate. Goosebumps Tuesday nights at Old Trafford. absolute Stretford and going absolutely berserk. That's me. I have never been brought up on do. I don't know do. I'm not about do. Like, none of this. It's not in my vocabulary. It's not. I don't feel anything. I feel like I'm gonna be sick when I hear the do. So for me, I'm like, concentrate on the FA Cup. League Cup, we're in the final, regardless. And then see we can get the highest we can finish in the Premier League. Like, for me, I don't think we're in the title race because our first 11, first 13, we've already got 2 midfielders out for the season. It could be 3 with Scott McTominay, who's missing now for the past couple of months. So Anthony's injured, and Martial is, you know what? Martial don't even play for us. You know what I mean? To me, I'll unregister him because that's taking the absolute biscuit. That is taking the biscuit. So for me, Europa League, but I personally think we're going to get beaten. I do think that. If you don't think we're not, people, then I'll just refer you to Barcelona's form. Barcelona.
Yeah, I watched them last night, mate. They don't, that guy Araujo, mate, is a beast, man. So we need a quick attack. Obviously, we don't have that in their course, but they've only
Rashford, right? All I've got to say for you guys is Rashford, man. See, Rashford, he's such an informed striker. I feel like, obviously, we're used to seeing him having, bursts of like, he goes 10 games, he's doing good, especially, like I said, the first 2 seasons under Oli. So a lot of Man United fans are thinking it's similar to that, and then there's going to be that quiet patch. But I think under Eric Ten Hag, this is a new type of Rashford that we're seeing. Like, Rashford is going to turn up, and he's going to be the difference at Barcelona. And I think and again, Casemiro coming back in the middle of that part, like, I think Varane being rested. You know what I'm saying? We're going to have Shaw there. I feel like United is just, I think it's a different United that we're seeing. And on top of that, for me, I get what the Europa League stands for and what it means. But if you look at the teams that are in it this season, to actually win it, you have to be a serious club. Like, and I think the way money is going in football and the way things are changing around the whole of Europe, I think the Europa League is going to get harder to win. I don't think it's going to be this league that, like, you can just win easily, or this trophy that you can win easily. I think it's going to get harder as it goes, because when you look at the games that are in the Europa League and you look at the games that are in the Champions League, the next group stages, the next knockout stages, they're just serious, like, cup ties. They're just serious cup ties. And I get it. It's a second tier European cup, but I feel like the history of the teams that are in the Europa League now, I just feel like they need better PR. Europa League, something needs to happen. They need a new sponsorship, some new PR, something to kind of get that.
You know what it is, though?
You know what they can start with? You know what they can start with? Taking that absolute dead music away from them. Do. Take that away, mate. Take that away, mate.
They need to
have a remix. That's what they can do it, mate. That's the first thing that they can do.
I think it's the PR, man. I get it. Like, you don't get up for it. I think it's the PR. I think they just need to get some sponsorship behind it. Something different has to change. They need to get some Pavarotti music.
Musa, I'm telling you, there ain't nothing. You can do all the amount of Glazer PR. Glazers can borrow them their PR, and it still won't make any difference to me, bro. Thursday nights is when I go out. Thursday night, I don't want to be thinking about Man United. I don't want to be seeing on Man United. I don't. Thursday night is a chill night. That's what we are in our culture. And the fact that we're in this, it's just a predicament of, it's an indictment of the ownership, where we've been in the last 10 years for me. But I just look at their stats, Saeed. They've scored 47 goals in the Liga. They've conceded 7. We conceded 6 in one game. So in terms of the way they're at, they are the form team in Europe. They are the number 1 4 team in all the leagues in Europe. They are Barcelona at this moment. I think, and how many points are they clear now in the Liga? They're well clear in the Liga. So
yeah, they're well clear.
At the end of the day, so it's like they can do whatever.
The 12 points clear. Obviously, Real Madrid have got.
But they've been scraping a couple 1-0s here too. I feel like I think we're gonna smack them up, man. I'll be honest with you guys.
You know what I love about Musa? Musa's got Paris Saint-Germain in mind, innit? When we went to Paris, nobody gave us a stiff. Yeah. And then we done what we done. Musa's got that kind of feeling. I understand what's happening, bro. I understand.
You know what? Because I feel like what's gonna happen is that I think we're just going to shop Europe. Obviously, we've been doing a lot of this, a lot of our football in the cup games, in the Premier League. We haven't played. I think the last time we were playing Europa League games, we weren't really in the best of form. Like we were doing okay, but we weren't in this rich vein. Like with the amount of games we've won at home, we've had a lot of good clean sheets. I think like our defense is solid. Our back five is solid as well. We're not just like, it's not easy to just score against Man United anymore, man. I don't think it's as easy as it used to be. And I just feel like, yes, they've had some good games in La Liga and stuff like that, but I feel like people are going to be surprised at the Man United that's going to turn up and what we're going to be able to do to Barcelona. And I think people are just going to say, oh, well, it's not the old Barcelona. People are going to make excuses when we turn them over.
Yeah. Big up Zayt Mias says, I want United to win so Arsenal can smash them in the final and we can win the Europa League. Listen, man, we'll see, man. You guys have to worry about your trophy.
These men are going to let Man City go top on Wednesday and they're talking about us.
Oh, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. I can't lie to you. I just think for me, it's one of them, Nordin. It's how we manage the situation right now, because Carabao Cup is why I want to win. You know what I mean? Obviously, again, what does he do next week? Does he field a strong team? And then you've got the Carabao Cup next week. I know you probably don't like both, but if there's one you're going to prioritize, surely it's the Carabao Cup in it. But
nah, no way. I'm not going to prioritize that Carabao Cup over the Europa League.
What? Seriously?
No way, man. If you told me at the start of this season you can win a trophy and finish in the top 4, I would have said win the Europa League and finish in the top 4.
No, but it's a trophy, though, isn't it? It's a Carabao Cup trophy as well.
Yeah, I get it. But if you would have told me, because you know what the Europa League gets you ready for Champions League. It gets you ready for that European football. Those football teams on the continent, like those European teams, like it gets you ready for those teams and playing football. You know what I'm trying to say? So I just feel like, nah. Carabao Cup, some of the teams that you turn over, it's like, cool, I get it, it's a trophy. But if I had a chance in winning, not going to the finals, but winning, if you said, what cup can you win? FA Cup, Europa League, or Carabao Cup, I would have went for the Europa League and finishing in the top 4. I reckon that's a great season.
Right, Sally, listen, please mute Musa and Dossie's camera, kick him off the stream, mate. FA Cup, listen, the only thing I'm prioritizing is the FA Cup, the greatest cup competition in the world, the oldest and the greatest. Don't bring me 2 Mickey Mouse trophies next to the FA Cup, Musa. What are you on about? Are we getting ready to go to Pakistan and to go to this team, to go to, what's the team that we play from Cyprus? That's not Champions League. Are you up? What are you, Musa, where have you been? What water are you drinking?
Nah, guys, quickly. Who's left in the Europa League? What are the big teams left side? Can you get it up? Because who's left in it?
Okay, let me find out who's in the Europa League.
Big teams, but you know what? These big teams were horrendous form, and most of them got kicked out of the Champions League. So it is what it is. For me,
but still, those away days.
Video.
Listen, Saeed, I'm resting everybody, Saeed. I'm not prioritizing anything other than the FA Cup. West Ham, mate. West Ham at home. Old team.
So tell me, Noordin, can you tell me if we win away at the Bernabeu, it's not going to be mad?
I genuinely do think if it's in the Champions League, yeah, I would be. But I don't rate the Europa League, bro. I genuinely don't. We can see it. Juventus are absolutely dead.
Can you see that, guys? Can you see that? Yeah.
Yeah, we can see that. Yeah, we can see Juventus are dead. Roma are dead to me.
Hold on, Lorraine. I'm gonna tell the people. So we've got what do you call it? Oh no, this is oh no, this is not the right one. Right, I'm gonna bring the right one up. But yeah, go on, Lorraine. You keep talking.
Listen, I look at it and think Barcelona now, if they were on the form that they would have been on at the beginning of the season, I know you can say if my Auntie Jane was my Uncle Harry, but I'm telling you, the way they're playing football now, they would be a Champions League team. And at the end of the day, where it is, I just don't like the Europa League, man. I just don't. I've never liked it. I'm never gonna like it. I'm never gonna accept it. For me, the FA Cup is a trophy that means a lot to me. It's what I grew up with. You know what? Whether United were in the final or not, Saeed, I can't tell you, and Musa knows. You get up.
I agree with you. I agree on a lot what Noordin's saying.
To me, the FA Cup means more. And also, last time Man United won an FA Cup,
But you know why I say this, Noordin? What do you think it will do for the young players and the squad that we have now to win away at some of these big grounds? What do you think it will do to the momentum of this United team if they go away to Barcelona and turn them over in their own ground. I think like what it does for the team and the squad is much more than going away and turning over Nottingham Forest at their ground.
No, obviously, it's the whole of the world's eyes is going to be. So come Thursday night, everybody that usually watch the Champions League is watching that game. 100%.
Yeah.
I agree with you. Because of the two clubs and the history and the legacy. And it's actually a shame both clubs are in this crap competition. Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
Yeah.
But that it stands. But for me, I look at the competition, man. If it was Champions League, I would 100% agree, Musa. This would be the game of the tie, whatever it is. But Man United Barcelona is the game. Because we used to meet each other in finals back not that long ago. It's not 30 years ago. Man United were meeting each other. We're not meeting each other 30 or 40 years ago. You know what I mean?
Here's the teams then. So we've got obviously Barcelona's in there. Juventus Nantes. He's got Sporting Michelin, Shakhtar Rennes, Arsenal versus Union Berlin. So Ajax versus Union Berlin, Leverkusen versus Monaco, Sevilla, PSV, Salzburg versus Roma, and obviously in the round of 16 we've got Arsenal, Betis, who are having a decent season, Fenerbahce, Ferencváros, Feyenoord, Freiburg, Real Sociedad, who were third in their league, and Union Saint Gilloise. So
there's still a lot of teams in there. I think that are good competition.
So go on.
Yeah, I think there's still a lot of teams in there that are not. Like. There's still good away games like Roma, like whether it's Juve, PSV, Ajax.
No, 100%. I understand, but the question then becomes: is that would I rather have Erik ten Hag concentrate on the FA Cup and concentrate on the league, finishing high as we can, or Europa League? And to me, it is league and the FA Cup. I'm sorry. I'm like, you've come in. You're building a team. We're not ready to compete big time in the big world right now because we can tell this is not his foot. He's not all his players, and he's juggling all the injuries, all the suspension, and everything else. And I just personally think, if Man United go deep into the Europa League, I think it can cost us the season. I believe that. That's my belief. Now I can totally be wrong, and that is because I'm so biased against the Europa League. But I think the Europa League, the amount of traveling, it takes its toll. It takes its toll. And to me, I'm like, FA Cup for me, I'm keeping an eye on the FA Cup. And what I've liked from Erik ten Hag, he played the most strongest teams in the FA Cup other than the League Cup, actually. Yeah. So to me, that is a big thing for me. You know what I mean? Europa League ain't, like I said, it went in my vocabulary. If he ain't the Champions League, I don't care what teams are in it. If he ain't the Champions League or the Premier League or the FA Cup, to me, it's a sideshow. I have never, and I will never go and celebrate a League Cup win. I have never go and celebrated a Europa League win, never in my life. But FA Cup, Premier League, I will go absolutely.
Even though we haven't won one in 6 years or
listen,
7 years.
If we win the Europa League, I'm celebrating. I don't know about you, look.
But Saeed, I understand. The reason why we've not won any trophies is because the way we're set up as a football club, the way that owners have a grip of our football club and the bankers. So that's the reason why Man United have not won trophies. It's because of that. It's not because Man United are just horrendous. No, it's because the way we're run and the people who own us, we're not being competing. So for me, if that changes, I hope it does. I pray every day it does, right? But I know it will change. So I'm not too, and maybe I'm one of these privileged muppets who's seen Man United win it all. Like the song goes, we've won it all. You know what I mean? We've seen it all. We've won it all. I'm one of those people. I'm not.
You know what I like about Erik ten Hag said? He said it earlier as well when they were asking him about all the competitions we're in. He goes, if you don't want to play this amount of games, then you need to go and play for a different team. Because when you're playing at Man United and you're playing at these top teams, you have to be ready to play every 3 days. Because we're clubs, and I think that's what Pep took to City, where a lot of people used to look down at the Carabao Cup and Pep was like, nah, I'm playing my strong side. I want a strong squad. And if you play for Man City, you have to be prepared to be in all 4 competitions. And that's what we saw Liverpool do last season, I think, when they went to all 4 finals. And I just feel like whether it's Europa League, Champions League, Carabao Cup, FA Cup, we have to go into every competition saying we want to win it. I think we need to set high standards where there isn't no preference. Yes, there's preference. We want to win the league, Champions League, but we have to go in there, even like saying with the Carabao Cup, it's the first cup we can win this season, so let's win it. But you can't play for Man United and be on this, you know what I'm saying? I'm not sure where this. Now you got to be ready to play every 3 days, and we need to have massive squads.
Musa, I understand that. Now, Musa, I understand everything you said. If Man United were in the FA Cup in the Champions League and going for the league, 100% I agree with you. I saw it with my own eyes. I celebrated it for about 15 days, a month in this. Man United were playing every couple of days, and Man United went for everything. But I'm sorry to say, this is his first season, and I'm sorry, we do not have the squad that Man City have assembled. Eric Ten Hag, this is not every player that's at Man City. 3 years ago, that was all of Pep Guardiola's players. That was all of it, other than maybe 2 or 3 players. Eric Ten Hag has got more players that's not his own, and we've got all these injuries and fatigueness. And for me, when I look at where Chelsea are, where Liverpool are, we've got to take the biggest advantage. To me,
are we making top 4 already?
Listen, I celebrated yesterday's win, Saeed. I celebrated that because I was like, yes, a buffer. Because I know more injuries are going to come the more games you play. So I will not be, Musa, I would agree with you with everything you said if Ten Hag was here for 2 years or 3 years and that was all these players. But unfortunately, for me, there is a danger and it'll come at a cost. Like, for example, Liverpool. People forget that Liverpool, this is what happened to Liverpool now. It happens. You know why? When you go at full leather for 4 trophies, the level of fatigue, and then the next year there's a World Cup after that. There's a World Cup, and you've got to go to that World Cup. The level of mental and physical fatigue, gassed out, because Liverpool went for everything in that season. They went for everything, and the mental, it's not even now is affecting you till that. It affects you continue to the next season. So for me, it's that there's a danger. There's a danger of burnout, and the injuries show that. Injuries are showing that. The suspensions are going to come thick and fast to key players. Because when you're playing every couple of days, you are not as fit and you're not as energized. And he doesn't have the better squad. So 100% your argument, I would agree with. If we had Man City level of squad and the manager's been there for a long time. But for me, I look at Liverpool, it's not just down to their injuries, why they've all of a sudden fallen apart. It's because of mental and physical fatigue.
Yeah,
I agree.
You know, the top 4 is pretty much locked in. I don't know what you think, but I think top 4 is top 4 is locked in, man.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
Now, top 4 is locked in, but you know what I was gonna say on that side? I was gonna say that Eric Ten Hag, having a season where he's come in, he's got some world-class players in his team, but he doesn't know who's who and who's the main guy. I feel like this is the best type of season Eric Ten Hag can have to find out who he wants to keep and who he wants to let go. Because he can see who can play every 3 days and keep up the levels. He can see who's mentally at it. He can see who he can count on when we are in the Champions League and we are going for all the cups. I think this has been an ideal season for him to go in the latter stages of the competitions, have more games to see. Because imagine being knocked out of the Carabao Cup, being knocked out of Europe and only being in the league. And that's the only time Eric can see players to see who's up for it and who's not up for it. I think being in all these competitions with all the injuries and all of that, it still allows him to see who's up for it, who's on job, who's ready. Because can you imagine he only had just the league to do that? A lot of guys will be getting away with staying next season. Like, a lot of people won't be getting sold, but I think he's seen enough for me to know Fred or McTominay, one of them's gone. You know what I'm saying? Harry Maguire or Lindelof, one of them's gone. Like, I've seen enough to know that players are getting moved on the basis of that.
The reason why I say top 4 is kind of locked in, and listen, it's to the big. I think Chelsea are what they'd have to win a crazy amount of games to catch up to us.
Top 4.
Tottenham have lost Bentancur today.
Top 3.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly. Top 3. I think we could finish third. It depends obviously what Man City do and how they tail off and whatnot. But third is achievable. Newcastle are now starting to see a bit of their squad and they're getting tested now, so they're trying to think. Brighton, Fulham, can they match up to us? I don't think so personally.
All I'm saying to you, Saeed, is that when you lose 2 games, and because how everything is tight, if you look at from Brighton, Fulham, Tottenham,
7 points clear of Tottenham.
Yeah, I understand that. But what I'm saying to you, you know what that is? You lose twice and draw once, and they win 3. That's what, in 3 games, it could go
3 in a
upside
row.
down. So Saeed, listen, everything can go upside down, right? And at the end of the day, there's still, for me, if you said to me, 5 games to go, 6 games to go, 7 or 8 games to go, I would say, you know what, maybe I can see us winning games here and there and snipping a draw. But there's still over, 13, 14 games to go to the season. Still about 14, 15, if I'm not mistaken. There's about 14 games to go, if I'm not mistaken. So for me, with 3 games, the table can look like different. And I'm not until it's locked in. And that's why yesterday's win, Saeed, was huge for me. In terms of that, was a huge win yesterday because of the other teams have drawn. Do you understand? They've either drawn or lost, like Spurs lost. So for me, it's not locked in because remember, Arsenal were in a position where there was 4 games to go, or 3 games to go, or 5 games to go, and they were like, "Oh, we're locked in." And look what happened. They fell apart. They fell apart due to injuries and fatigue and just the team not being on form. So for me, I am never one of those people. It's not
But
what
you know, Noridine, if you look at our form, if you look at our form compared to the teams that's trying to catch us, if we're worried about making top 4, then they must be panicking because look at their form. You know what I'm saying? If we're worried, what do you think Spurs fans are thinking about their chances of making top 4 is?
Listen, at the end of the day,
This is where Europa League comes into place, though. That's where the Europa League comes into place.
And that's the point I'm talking about. And that's why
they're in Champions League.
Listen, those who coming for me in the comment, that's what I said, and I repeat, Man United have got a squad in terms of we've got two long-term injuries. We've got 3 other players, 3 long-term injuries. Martial, to me, it's gone. It's done for me. He might as well not play. So we've got 2 players that maybe might be able to come back from injury. And when I see the squad, if the squad was there, trust me, Saeed knows me. I'll be like, let's go for everything. Let's throw the kitchen sink at this. Let's see what sticks. I'm not saying that because I'm worried the level of fatigue mentally and physically. We've seen it already this season. We were in the stadium on Wednesday. We saw it. I saw it with my own eyes. And then you're asking us to go and fly to Timbuktu and the different parts of Europe and then come back and play these tough games in the Premier League. Every game's not easy. We saw it. Leeds are struggling. They're 17th or whatever they are. If Everton win tonight, they're back in the bottom 3. But 60 minutes, they bullied us. Let's be right here. We were lucky. We were lucky that they don't have finishers. That's the fact. That's the facts of the matter. So in this way where we're thinking, no, we're not. I saw Arsenal go from nowhere last season, hit form, do this, last 4 or 5 games, boom, bottled FC. There you go, not there. Yeah. Because the players were injured, because Partey was missing, and so this other player was injured. So at the end of the day, it's too early to call who's going to win the league. It's too early to call who's going to finish top 4 for me yet. It's too early. And the idea that we are, and this weekend for me was a massive step Man United took. A huge step to give us a buffer, because now all of a sudden we've got games in. We've got other teams have got people who are chasing have got games in hand.
But I think Chelsea and Liverpool's game in hand are against each other, so someone to drop points there. Newcastle are playing Liverpool this weekend as well, so hopefully Liverpool can get something there and derail Newcastle, because Liverpool are so far away from us. I don't think they're going to catch
17 us. Points. I think they're 17 points behind us.
17 points.
Tonight, if they win, they should win the game tonight. They're at Anfield. They're at home.
Well, you know what I mean? With the Sean Dykes, you know what I mean? You wouldn't be worried, man. It's all about managing expectations, isn't it? I think for me, Europa League, I'd love to win it, but I want to prioritize the Carabao Cup. So if you're asking me my kind of feeling against, if we're losing Barcelona, Musa, yeah, and they win the first leg 3-0, just imagine 3-0. Would you then go strong and think that you got a chance on Thursday night, or would you rest everyone? Musa?
For me, I just don't see Barcelona beating us. That's the first thing. I don't see how they beat us. I've seen them play. I love
the confidence for Musa, mate. It's infectious.
Nah, I don't. I've seen them play, yeah, and I think we played harder teams this season. I think Arsenal turn over Barcelona when they're playing the way they played against us the other day. And I feel like had it not been for Casemiro and just bottling it in the last couple minutes and not being at that game, we should have took something from that. And that was away at the Emirates. I just don't see Man United going there, playing how we can play, being up for the European night. I just don't see how Barcelona beat us, to be honest, because this is not the same. Barcelona with Leonardo, with Messi was just a different. They had that extra gear. Whenever you match them, the little man just turned it on. I just don't see that now. They don't have that, and I just feel like if you Ten Hag is for me is the key component here. He's a better manager than Xavi, and I feel he's going to get his tactics right over their manager, and he has the players now to execute his orders. And I just feel like Eric Ten Hag has the players to execute the right game that he needs to beat Barcelona. So I'm not really worried. I just think that if we beat them, we might. I don't know. I just don't. If they beat us 3-0, then forget about it. Just rest the players the next game. Rest it. I agree with that because I don't see them beating us 3-0. I see us going there and getting a 2-1, a 3-1, and bringing them back to Old Trafford and finishing off the game. But what I hope is that if we go through the next round, we get a team that's local again, an Italian team. I don't want to fly too far. If we can get good draws where we're flying to Germany, we're flying to Italy, we're flying close by, I think we can get to the final, not as tired as you guys think. And I think, again, something Eric Ten Hag said, winning games gives you momentum. I just don't. If Man United go to Barcelona and get a win, they're just going to be buzzing. Whoever comes next is under pressure. The squad's going to be buzzing, bro.
Yeah. Momentum is key, though, isn't it? And this is the thing, Jordan. Momentum here is going to be key as well. Adrenaline, 19th, 23, 26, and then obviously the final. So 16, 19, 23, 26. So in the space of 10 days, you've got 4 games. You know what I mean? No, it's a madness, man. The Premier League, what they're doing.
We've been saying this from the beginning, though, Saeed. We've been saying this all the time, and it's just been different teams. We've been saying, look at this month. It's a madness. We went and we've turned it on. Then the next month comes. It's a madness. Listen, everyone's going through it. Yeah.
Listen, I rate your confidence, brother. Trust me, I rate your confidence in the team. But I look at it. The Leeds win yesterday was the first win in how many games for United in the league? And that's what I see, the fatigue. That's what I see, injuries. That's what I see, suspensions, coach. We drew 3 games and lost 1. So that's what it was. So we drew 2 games. We draw Leeds, Crystal Palace, and then we beat Crystal Palace, and we get beat by Arsenal, and then we win last night. So our form, actually, we've only won 2 out of the last 5. And for me, that is like injuries and fatigue and everything else taking hold, and the injuries that are coming thick and fast. So for me, if Saeed asks, if you want me to answer the question, if Man United will get beat, I think Man United are going to get beat. I think that pitch is too bad. I don't think we're ready enough to play them at that level, the way they are at this moment.
I just think Sancho, Garnacho, these men are fresh. Like, they're ready. I'm just telling you, like...
Well. We have players like Sancho, who's back, is fresh. Sabitzer, who's obviously fresh right now.
The low's been out. I just feel like, yes, we've had injuries. Casemiro's been fresh. I just feel like we've had the right players out for the right period of time. And I feel like now, when they step back in, it's going to make a difference. So I'm looking at Delo. I'm looking at Sancho. I'm looking at Casemiro, who's just had a little break. I just feel like Varane, we've rested him over the Leeds game. I just feel like I think we're good to go, man. And I feel that break that Casemiro had, even though we were complaining about it, it's actually been needed for him. Do you know what I'm saying? Because he's been going for a minute.
That's true, When you look at it, he kind of did need a little bit of rest that we kind of wanted. Because, again, he was playing every single game. Fred's got about 1,000 lungs anyway, so he'll be all right. Sabitzer, hopefully, should be okay. And obviously, he came in and slotted well nicely. It'd be good to see Fred and Sabitzer play. Sorry, not Fred and Sabitzer.
Casemiro
gonna be back, and then hopefully they'll play. You know what I mean? So it's gonna be tough. But I think for me, if we can keep the scoreline down, bring it to Old Trafford, bro, let's do it, man.
Have
And
you
then
seen their informed? Their informed strikers got like 6 or 7 goals or something.
who? Barcelona.
Yeah, I think is it Pedri, the young boy.
Pedri, Pedri.
He's the informed striker. He can't lace Rashford's boots right about now. I just don't get it. If
It's
they
not a
had
boxing match, though, bro. Musa, it's not a boxing match, though, is it? It's not one against one. It's a team against a team, bro.
Yeah,
And
but look at our team.
It's the way the teams play. Lewandowski.
But look at our team, though, Noradine. Look how we've been playing. Think about our back four. Casemiro in the midfield.
Brother, I look at it yesterday for 60 minutes. Man United couldn't get out of their own half. That's how we
No,
played.
but we didn't. But look at the back four.
Game.
We had Maguire and Luke Shaw in the back four. We had Fred and Sabitzer in the middle of the park. No Casemiro. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like and I think we've seen.
But that's football, bro. But that's football. That's injuries, fatigue. And I look at Bruno's performance yesterday. I look how fatigued that guy is. He looks fatigued. He's done out here. We saw it on Wednesday night, Saeed. We were in the stadium. You can see it. When the man's just panting, constantly panting and feeling it and try to slow the game down. I'm like, wow. You make bad decisions when you're fatigued. I just don't see it, bro. But you know what?
It is well, Noradine. I agree.
2 more days, bro. I don't.
I agree with you, Noradine. There is. I think if we do let off points, I think it's going to be like games against Leicester like that, where sometimes we're going to think all we need to do is turn up, and the players are tired or they can't get up for the game as they can for the Barcelona game. But them walking out in the Bernabeu, listen, the new camp, we're going to be like, nah, they're going to be up for it. And I feel like where I'm going to agree with you, Noradine, I think is like some of these Premier League games where we do want to finish as high as possible. They might not be up for it. They might just think, here we go again. You know what I mean? Like you said, an away day at Leeds or an away day wherever it might be. And that's where we might become unstuck. I feel like the Europa League, they're just going to turn up if they're playing in the I think the top four. I think the top four is nailed on. Where some of our, we want to win the league.
No. Listen, I don't think Man United. I think the opportunity, if Man United had a good squad, like a really good squad, we had a good bench, and you could make use of the 5 substitutions. I think maybe, but I think we're on a pipe dream there. I don't see it. The biggest thing for me, I just want to secure top 4 because I don't want to rely on a cup like the Europa League where you can get knocked out. But Saeed, you're going to go to the game? Can't hear you, bro.
Yeah, I'm going to be flying out there tomorrow.
Who's the Barca? I can't hear Saeed. Who's that?
You're breaking up, Musa. You're breaking up.
Sorry, Barcelona.
Come in and out, Musa. Come in and out. You there?
Yeah, I think he's just froze.
Yeah.
So he's flying out to Barcelona, beautiful city.
Barcelona. So
you were there. You went to a festival there, didn't you? A couple of years ago. Did you go to a festival?
The festival. No, I just went there for a vibe, over there. It's quite nice, Barcelona. Barcelona, nice city.
Ramblers. You're gonna be on the Ramblers.
Ramblas. You know what I mean? You have to watch out for the pickpockets, man. Last time we did got pickpocketed in Barcelona. I'll tell you now.
And our Asian brothers offering you 1 beer, 2 beer,
1 beer, 2 beer, 3 beer. I'm like, listen, I don't need anything, man. Relax.
You're like, yo, I don't like beer, but have you got anything else that's cold?
Yeah. Yeah, Musa, what was he saying then?
I was saying, what was I saying? I was saying, who's going to?
You're in a rumble again, bro.
You're in the rumble. You're in the rumble, man. Yeah, go on now. You're back.
Yeah, I was saying, is anyone traveling this week? Is anyone traveling to the game this week?
Me and Faz are traveling. So yeah, me and Faz are going, man. So hopefully, like I said, man, we're gonna see. Hopefully, I just want to see an occasion, man. I want to see us compete. Loud stadium, big crowd, occasion. I want to. This is a moment where I look at Man United and see how far they've come against Pedri, Gavi, technical footballers, De Jong. Can they match up in a very, very high technical game?
Is there tickets or no tickets about? I'll join you guys.
To be fair, I don't know what's going on now. It's very limited, the tickets. It's one of them. Hopefully, the next game when we come back, you know what I mean, we can be in a position where we're still level, man. That would be the key for me, to be in a position where you come back and what do you call it? We're kind of almost in the game. You know, if we could get that, even if we're 2-1 behind, Old Trafford crowd, you know, that kind of night, you know, you never know, man. You just never know, man. So
maybe I've missed something, man. Maybe I've missed something. See a couple times once.
Yeah, nah. Woodward's got you, man. And then Neil Ash's got you.
Neil Ash's got me. No, but yeah, the Barcelona team. I don't know. Maybe I've missed something. I don't know what everyone. I just didn't see what everyone else is. It's gonna be.
Yeah.
You're gone. Call it a night, man. Call it a night.
Musa's basically saying, people, that he's missing something about how Barcelona are playing, and maybe
I watched it, man. They're good. They're defensively, they're good, man. I can't lie to you.
They conceded 7 goals in their last 1 minute game. So we conceded 6 in 1. That just tells you, like, it's crazy.
They're good. They're good, man. I think for me, we've got to be very, very good on our day to beat Barcelona. Very, very good. But at the same time, never say never, man. That's all I say to people. Never say never. But listen, people, we're going to wrap it up here.
For me, side is that, can Man United compete? That's the only thing I'm watching this game for. Can Man United compete? And that's it. But for me, Europa League, I'm done out here. No tear, no sadness. I'll be jumping.
Guys, quick question. Quick question. If this Barcelona side was in the Premier League, where would they be? So I want to know how good they are.
They're battling for the league. Challenging for the league.
I think they would be.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think they could challenge. Yeah, they could challenge. Yeah, they could challenge.
Have you seen their squad? Have you seen their squad, Musa?
Their squad is stacked. They would challenge for the league, definitely. Especially the way they play as well. You know what I mean? They would challenge. But again, you just don't know how competitive they would be in terms of.
I thought they were like a Chelsea. I thought they were Chelsea. Like they got the team.
Oh, third.
They just not.
Wow, the chat agree with you, Musa. Yeah, I mean, third.
Musa, listen to me.
Yeah,
listen. You're thinking about the Barcelona that was dashed out of the Champions League. They're not that team, bro. They've completely transformed. Real Madrid, the Champions League.
Okay.
Won the league last year. They've built 12-point lead on Real Madrid, and look at Real Madrid's squad as well. And they beat Real Madrid.
Okay.
They beat up this season. Have they beaten Real Madrid? They beat up Real Madrid, mate.
Yeah, there you go. So, listen, man, we'll see, man. We'll see.
And listen, Musa, Real Madrid beat the team that went for the quadruple last season in the final. What does that tell you?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. But listen, people, we're going to wrap it up here. Big up to everybody who's locked in. You know what I mean? If you're watching this on the playback, please smash a like on the video. Guys, it's free to like the video. Don't just watch it. You can like the video, support the channel. I appreciate everybody who's locked in as well. Like I said, make sure you check out Boohoo Man, 40% off. Big up to Nuruddin for coming on. We're going to be live on his channel after this. Big up to you, Nuruddin. Love for coming on as always.
Yeah, man. Love. So, hey, listen, get some proper content, man. Talk to my Asian brothers in La Ramblers, man.
La Ramblers, I'm going to do. I'm going to do that. There's going to be a vlog.
Is Saeed going to be staying in the dark alley side of Barcelona? Or
we'll find out. We'll find out, man. We'll find out. Make sure you check the vlog. I'll be doing a vlog, so make sure you check that out. Need to charge my camera, actually. But yeah, check out the vlog. And yeah, man, big up to the community. Musa, love for coming on as always.
Always, no, we saying Brit Awards, yeah?
We're here, man. We're active in it. We was at the Brit Awards. Life was good. I tried to get him backstage, but you know what I mean, they wouldn't let me in, man. So you get me, but we're here.
No vlogging for us. No vlogs. You didn't take the camera.
You know what? To be fair, they were very tight on filming, man, because obviously they were like, yo, man, we gotta be, you know what I mean? Very access and that. So yeah, man. Alhamdulillah, it was all good, man. But yeah, listen, people, we're gonna wrap it up here. Big up to everybody who's tuned in. Like I said, United Real Therapy, we're gonna go live there. So make sure you tune in, people. Take care, guys. Bye-bye. Peace.